This is day 29 of building an AI company from scratch. I'm the guy building it, and we're ready to get started with another day. Month 1 is almost over. 2 more days left after this one. And I think the best way to start this is by doing something for the community, which also helps me learn how to build things myself. And that will be having a meeting with Keith and Federico, 2 guys from the community, especially Keith. He's the one who found Sky Office. That is an open source software that we're going to use to build our virtual offices on top of. And we used DeepWiki. It's a tool that allowed me to completely scan and dissect the GitHub repo for this open source project and give me like a few detailed ideas on how I can use that as a starting project to build on top of. I asked a few things like how can I implement this, how can I change this is every feature I want to have, and it gave me also code, like changed code, new code that would integrate with the existing one so that we could make that a reality. Now, that was just for brainstorming purposes. I sent everything to Keith before going to sleep last night at 3 a.m. He's in Australia, so he had all the time in his day to check that out, and he said we have something quite useful and interesting to go over in the meeting. It's 9 minutes to the meeting, so let's get it done. Right now, I'm just finishing up my diet. I just have to print it out, but that's on a side note. It will take me literally 2 minutes, and then I'll be ready to go for this meeting. That will be so interesting. I'm so hyped for this meeting. So yeah, let's see what the outcome is. Meeting is over and it was very productive. We made a lot of progress on what to use, what sprites to use, some open source free sprite packs, as well as using DeepWiki to dissect everything from the existing project, from the GitHub, and have an idea on what to implement. But what we're gonna do is just go for a very basic MVP where we have the map functional, where we have interaction functional, so collision with walls instead of you going through them with your character, talking about the character selection, and just incentivizing co-working rather than internal team productivity, because that's what Gather.town or SoWork lets you do. It's tools for teams. What we are trying to do here with this project is fill gaps in the online co-working space, because there isn't anything like that. Like the vibe you get when you go to a co-working space, like me being in Bali, I was doing that a lot, as you know, is that you feel good, and just by being there you can talk with people. You are forced to be with other builders because desks are, computers are next to each other, so you sit in front of people or next to people, and when you take a break, there's a common room where you can just go chill, talk, have a conversation, then come back to work, brainstorm ideas. So we really want to incentivize this interaction, but we at the same time won't overcomplicate things, especially at the beginning. Our goal is to get the whole thing to be working and testing it consistently internally for the Discord. And if these things pick up some hype and potentially we see that it could be a solid product, we can launch it publicly as well. We'll see. For now, this week will be just testing things, because me and Keith are not technical. We're not developers, so we're just gonna vibe code our way to making this work, as well as maybe see if technical developers from within the Discord can jump on this project if they want to contribute. So I guess that's pretty much it, and that will be what I'm gonna work on next. And after posting on all socials doing some networking, working on the community a little bit, and recording a few B-roll that my editor requested. The day continues. And next thing for me will be to download my AI IDE, which, if you don't know, it's basically the software on which you build the apps. You can edit the code, write new code, like Cursor, or Windsurf, or the client extension for VS Code. However, there's this one here called Void that is the open source alternative to Cursor. It has all the features Cursor has, but doesn't send your messages to a backend, private backend like Cursor or Windsurf. I'm curious to try this out, but I'm also curious to try out, because currently TRAE offers free LLMs connection, so you don't have to bring your API key. You can use all LLMs for free with no limits, no strings attached. I did some research on it. Lots of people like it. Other people in the Discord are complaining about a few bugs and stuff like that, which is normal. They're covering all the costs themselves so that they can look as a more favorable opportunity, an option in general for everyone, right? So that is also what attracted me. So I think I'm gonna try both out and yeah, see, like literally I have no idea how to start structuring folders in a project and best practices. I'm just gonna glue every piece I have disconnected in my bookmark folders, in my Fabric second brain. I'm gonna just try to put everything together into a similar thing I did here for N8N. So a plan of action for how I'm gonna learn and implement automations and agents. And I'm gonna do the same thing, but for vibe coding, so that I have both frameworks for my brain to operate with. This is the one for the automations. I'm gonna make another one for vibe coding. It's gonna be very similar structure. And I'm just gonna put it into action. I'm kind of, tired of, I wouldn't call it overthinking, over planning probably. I have lots of plans and elements fitting into a strict structure for me to follow, and a lot of theoretical notions that I have to piece together. I also feel that all of that is helpful, but it can become addicting very fast, like caffeine or drugs, I guess. I don't do either, but it's the same thing. When you are over planning, when you put structures together, when you do workflows, when you design systems, it's addicting. The way to break that is by doing, and then you see how actually useful everything you built was. So let's jump into this phase right now. And there we go. My TRAE is ready with 4MCP installed, Context 7, GitHub, Sequential Thinking, and Puppeteer. There's more, but right now the purpose is just trying it. And now I'm here on my PC, on my IDEA storage, ready to take one of these redacted ones. Probably the most stupid idea of all of them, with littlest potential of becoming an actual app, so that I can test it on something simpler with less logic, less complexity, just cool. It has to be cool at the same time. I don't want to make a snake game at the beginning. So yeah, let's see how good TRAE is. So let me try it out. Oh, that was horrible. Okay, I tested TRAE for about 3-4 hours, and this is the problem. This is why it's not passing the test, and I'm gonna uninstall it. Basically, there's a queue, and unless you are using it at a specific time, where I'm not sure if it's due to Chinese people or US people, but I used it early afternoon in Italy, Central European time zone, and I was the first one in the queue. At max, I was like second or third in the queue. It was very fast. But now it's just impossible. For just one prompt, I'm trying the chat option right now, not even the agent option. So it isn't writing code. It's just me going back and forth with chat to brainstorm on a few things. And it isn't working. It isn't working because it's too slow. And you can speed it up. There's no way, even if you want to pay for it, you just can't. There's no way to speed it up. There's no way to conduct your own API. I mean, technically you can. You can add custom model. You can bring your own API keys, right? But the main selling proposition of TRAE is that it's free to use. It's not better than Cursor or Windsurf by any means, I guess. And I can tell that also because of the fact that the gaming, like the game that I vibe coded, wasn't working at all. When I asked it to run tests and document tests, it added a lot of other code files and just stopped working. So couldn't run tests. And yeah, so that's why I think I'm gonna uninstall TRAE. It was very fast test. Lost like 3-4 hours on it. I think it was worth it. We'll see how TRAE evolves. Maybe I'll come back to it, who knows. But next I'm gonna try Void. That claims to be the open source alternative to Cursor. So let's check that out. And there we go with the daily recap. If you don't know, this part of the video is structured into 3 sections. The first one is community feedback. Where I interact with your comments. If you have questions or if you want feedback or anything, just comment down below and I'll get back to you tomorrow. Second section is data track, where I see how much the situation changed from yesterday in terms of balance, followers, and progress in general. Third but not least is strategy, where I think about what's next for me, what direction I'm taking, or what I need to change, stuff like that then becomes quite actionable for me. So let's start with the community feedback. Mo says, can help spread awareness for my existence. You're right. Just like a Noob Master. Like, if you're watching my content series right now, you know him, and slowly people are getting to know you, man. Deservedly, I should say. The Master says, Sushi do be making me sleepy as fuck too, bro. Yeah, I think it's like for everyone, right? Federico says, get to day 30 DOM and then think about the weekly update. That could work, be full of value, and with a storyline well structured. I agree. I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. So until day 35, you're going to keep seeing these videos. That's the decision I took. I'm going to keep seeing these videos, daily videos on YouTube, long form, same structure until day 35, because that will be the end of week 5. And from week 6, I'll keep basically doing this series, but on a weekly basis, so that it's more interesting to you. There's more progress for you to check. You can just get more value from it in the same length of a video, because I think I won't exceed 30 minutes of a video, right? It will be like 15 minutes more or less on average, but contain 7 days worth of progress for me, resources, value, and anything you might possibly need for yourself. So that's what I'm going to do next. On X, Samuel says, hey Dom, appreciate the honesty, pretty rare nowadays. I am interested how this will unveil and we'll check back after some time. Wishing you all the best. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, this is like random comments like this from people that find my account, take the time to open the account, check the bio, come back to me. Like, it happens. This thing too is rare, Samuel. So if you feel like what I'm doing is rare, the feedback you're giving me is what gets me going, because that's, you know, on the same level. So appreciate that, and for sure, I'll keep going. Now I've been talking about reformatting, restructuring the videos, but the substance won't change. The daily accountability videos will be available on my short form platforms. Just like a condensed version of what you're seeing right now and what you've seen for 28 days so far. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's keep going. Pretty sure like this number will change into positive very soon. I have no doubts about all of that. Sometimes in the micro I have to be very strong to keep this transparency, to keep going. Know that the actual effort I'm putting into the documentation of my journey is part of the journey itself. It's not like breaking the fourth wall and something completely extra. It's needed for the journey itself. And I'm seeing this a lot in the way I'm being compensated from what I'm learning from the community, the vibe over there, and just the networking I'm doing. It's a lot of value. So yeah, but it all starts from comments like this. The whole community, the vibe builder, started because people like Noob Master, Federico, commented. That's it. So yeah, appreciate that, man. Now let's do data track. So the situation changed from yesterday just in terms of followers, because balance remained unchanged. $756 spent in 28 days. But followers, we grew by 16. 12 on X, nothing on Instagram, 1 on YouTube, and 3 on TikTok. Again, things are slowing down aside from X, so video content isn't performing as well as it was, but that will change. It will change soon. I'm going to run a few more tests with the current strategy just to see if it was the content that you guys wanted more. So now that I started building, you will see more building content. Or if it's just a change of strategy and the whole formatting, the whole presentation and packaging of content itself. Which in that case, I'll be able to text it in a week from now. Progress did a lot today. Very proud of the progress today. Did a meeting with Keith to start the Co-Vibe project. Basically, the Co-Vibe project is the name we are given to the office, the virtual office space. So that's the whole thing. We have an opportunity, we have the current landscape, our solution, and the technical foundation. How we are trying to build the MVP, but the problem is you guys can stop it and read it unless you are inside the community. You already know about all of this. Another great progress is that many of the other builders like Momo, Simon, Zach, Cheyenne, who else? Keith himself, of course, again, shown interest into the whole thing and will help us build it, basically. So yeah, that's great. That's really good. And then also started my vibe coding journey, especially through TRAE. I tried it for, as you know, a few hours. It didn't work out for me, but it's super legit. I love how they're sacrificing revenue for the community to market the project. It's just not what I need right now. And got also great feedback from the community members about my new content strategy. You guys are fucking incredible. I basically posted progress in here asking for feedback on my new content strategy in the video that I did yesterday, day 27, and I got a lot of great feedback from all of you, from Momo especially, look at this, super detailed, from Simon, from Federico. You guys are being amazing at this, so yeah, I'll definitely implement most of these. We then organized our availabilities using this tool called Sketch for the 30-day pre-hackathon workshop. Sketch is basically a tool that allows for coordination. So if we go back to the Co-Vibe one, but it's actually the vibe coding workshop we're doing. It's this tool over here. And now we can see who is available when they're available. So I can see me, Mo, Simon. We can see when we're all available at different times. And the greenest the section is, the more people are available in that range. I also got access to Sim Studio AI. I was working on this. I was trying TRAE, and then I got a notification from my email saying that I got access to Sim Studio. Sim Studio is basically a new alternative. It's a fairly new tool. In fact, it's still in beta. They're giving out access to a few people. I got access. And yeah, it helps you build agents. You can use the API, condition, function to run custom logic. You can add routers. Of course, it's very limited. It's not as extensive as Make.com or Zapier or N8N, but you have tools that you can use. You can still play around with them. So yeah, I'll be testing this out. I don't know if it's just a spinned up version of N8N, given that N8N is open source, or those guys are literally building everything from scratch. That would be amazing. So I'll just check it out. Now that I'll dive deeper, I'm doing this alternative schedule in which I do AI agent work, AI automation, vibe coding, AI automation, vibe coding, and content is underlined. So that's kind of how I'm moving through both, so that I don't lose touch with any of them, because I think they're very complementary for everything that I want to build. So today has been very vibe coding focused, and tomorrow I'll just jump back into N8N probably. So I'll keep going like this, unless there's a specific situation that requires me to focus more on one over the other, which will probably be the case for the first few days of the 30-day hackathon preparation workshop with the Vibe Builders community. And yeah, vibe coding will be the main thing, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. I also updated the Builder of the Day event inside of the Discord so that it's also good to look at, you know, by adding, you know, winner gets this role for 24 hours, everything else stayed the same. I also changed the duration of the poll from 4 hours to 7 so that there's more time to vote, given that most of you guys are active when I'm asleep. So instead of making it 4 hours, I made it 8. So yeah, you're very familiar with it if you are in the Discord. Of course, I'm documenting this progress for people that are also outside of the Discord and want to see what's inside, you know, and what we're building over there. Then there's the networking section, in which basically I am documenting what happens when I connect with you guys. So if we connected on X, your tag, your username will be in here. And before I do the journaling, there's the strategy section. Strategy section is already done, I would say, because the next 2 days will be crucial to revamp my content strategy and also to prepare for the 30-day hackathon preparation workshop. So that will be my entire focus, to make sure I can display new progress the best way possible through content, and that progress is not only a display, it's valuable, like it's practical. And that means making sure we structure this hackathon the proper way, we log our progress properly, it's a lot of fun. And also that we make progress. It doesn't have to be fast progress, because we're moving incredibly fast and getting so much value from the community, even at its current state, being a static community like always, meaning a Discord server. So even without the co-vibe initiative, if it takes a month or two, I know that won't make a big difference. Of course, it would increase the perceived value of the community from the outside, and we would be able to test this virtual co-working space idea as a business. The earlier we launch it inside the community, the earlier we can test it outside of it, and maybe make it a plug-and-play system, just like So We're Gather, but specifically for discovering communities and elevating existing communities from their static state to a very dynamic and interactive one. So that will be the next logical step, but we're not in a rush for that, because it's just born from a need of interacting more with the members. But it's something that we can still do with a little more effort by typing our thoughts, instead of just walking up to the person's desk and talking with them, right? So it's still helpful. That is the strategy. Nothing will change apart from that. On a personal note, I'll resume working out tomorrow. I started, groceries. I did groceries. My mom did. Credits to her. That's an advantage of having failed everything in business, so that I'm back in my parents' house, and at least I don't pay rent and I don't pay for food, but I make sure to get the whole family up and running and making everyone happy very soon, giving everything back. That being said, see you guys in day 29, and as always, let's keep building.